Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive into AI.
Feels like things are moving faster than ever these days.
Absolutely. It's like
Mhm.
every day there's some new breakthrough or development that's pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Yeah.
This podcast is the brainchild of Etienne Newman,
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
a senior AI engineer by day and an avid soccer dad by, well, every other waking minute.
From Canada, right.
That's the one. And if you guys are enjoying these deep dives, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on Apple Podcasts. And give us a like if you're feeling extra generous.
Sharing with your friends helps too.
Spread the AI love. So today we're diving into some particularly juicy developments from February 19th, 2025. And we're going to kick things off with Google Meet because they're rolling out AI-powered transcripts that actually generate actionable items.
Oh, wow. So it's not just summarizing the meeting anymore.
Nope, it's actually going a step further and telling you who needs to do what after the meeting is over.
That's pretty cool, actually. Saves a lot of time and confusion.
No more post-meeting scramble to figure out who's responsible for what. But that's not even the biggest news of the day. Microsoft just dropped a bombshell announcement about a major breakthrough in quantum computing with their new Majorana 1 processor.
Quantum computing, I always feel like I'm on the verge of understanding it, but...
It's definitely one of those mind-bending topics.
So what's so special about this Majorana 1 processor?
Well, the key is that they've figured out how to use Majorana particles, which are these super weird particles that are their own antiparticles.
Their own antiparticles. That sounds like something straight out of Star Trek.
It kind of is.
Mhm.
And they're using these particles to create more stable qubits, which are the building blocks of quantum computers.
Ah, I see.
But here's the really crazy part. The Majorana 1 could potentially hold 1,000,000 qubits on a single chip.
1 million. Wow. That's orders of magnitude more than what we have now.
Exactly. Current quantum computers are working with just a few hundred qubits at most.
So what does this mean for the future of quantum computing? What kind of impact could this have?
I mean, the potential applications are pretty much limitless. We're talking about revolutionizing fields like cryptography, drug discovery, materials, science, you name it.
It's mind-blowing when you really think about it.
And what's even more impressive is that this breakthrough is the result of 17 years of research.
17 years. That's dedication.
And Microsoft even partnered with DARPA along the way.
So it's been a long time coming.
It really has. But while Microsoft is making waves in quantum computing, OpenAI is facing some stiff competition.
Oh. From who?
Remember Mira Murati, OpenAI's former CTO?
Yeah, she was a big part of their success.
Well, she's launched her own AI company called Thinking Machines Lab.
Interesting. What are they focused on?
They've got a really impressive team of AI experts, including some OpenAI alumni, and they're all about developing adaptable AI systems with multimodal capabilities and a strong emphasis on human-AI collaboration.
So they're not just trying to replicate human intelligence. They're looking at ways for AI and humans to work together.
Precisely. It's a different approach,
Right.
and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Do you think this will accelerate the development of AGI?
It's definitely possible. More competition in the field often leads to faster progress.
True.
But not every venture in the AI world is met with success. Remember the AI pin from Humane?
The tiny wearable AI device? Yeah, whatever happened to that?
Well, it seems like it's been discontinued after failing to gain traction.
Really? I thought there was a lot of hype around that.
There was. They had significant funding and a lot of buzz, but it looks like it just didn't catch on.
Why do you think it failed?
The AI hardware market is a tough nut to crack. Developing these devices is expensive, and you really need to create something that's both practical and user-friendly.
I guess people weren't quite ready to wear their AI on their sleeve.
Or their lapel, as the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of pushing the boundaries of AI, OpenAI has introduced a new benchmark for evaluating AI capabilities in software engineering called SW Lancer.
SWE Lancer, what's that all about?
What makes this benchmark unique is that it uses over 1,400 real freelance tasks sourced from Upwork.
So they're not just using made-up tasks, they're testing AI on real-world problems.
Exactly. It's a much more realistic assessment of how AI would perform in a real software development environment.
So how does it work? What are they measuring?
It's not just about generating code. The benchmark also assesses an AI's ability to make technical management decisions, such as selecting the optimal engineering proposal for a given task.
Sounds pretty comprehensive.
And get this, success is measured in monetary terms. It's like asking the AI, if you were a freelance developer, how much could you earn by completing these tasks?
That's a clever way to measure it.
So what were the results? Well, even the most advanced AI models struggled with this benchmark. The top performer was Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which managed to solve almost half the tasks and earn a cool $400,000.
That's impressive, but it also shows that AI still has a long way to go before it can fully replace human software engineers.
Absolutely. But from software engineering to scientific discovery, AI is making its presence felt. Google has unveiled its co-scientist AI system, which aims to revolutionize research by automating complex scientific analyses.
That's fascinating. What kind of analyses are we talking about?
It could be anything from sifting through vast amounts of data to identifying patterns and generating hypotheses. The idea is that AI can help scientists make breakthroughs faster.
It's like having an AI research assistant working alongside you.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the gig economy. Fiverr has launched an AI-powered platform that's designed specifically to help freelancers optimize their services.
Really? I hadn't heard about this. What does it do?
It offers two key features: a personal AI creation model and a personal AI assistant.
Okay, break that down for me.
So the AI creation model lets freelancers create AI-generated versions of their work, which they can then sell while still owning the original instead. It's like a whole new revenue stream.
Wow. And what about the AI assistant?
The AI assistant is like a superpowered virtual assistant. It helps with things like managing client communications, scheduling appointments, and even drafting personalized responses based on previous interactions.
That would free up a lot of time for freelancers to focus on the work they actually enjoy.
Exactly. It's all about empowering individuals to be more efficient and creative.
It does make you wonder how this will impact the gig economy in the long run.
Yeah. Will it create more opportunities, or will it lead to more competition and potentially lower wages? It's a question worth considering. But before we dive deeper into that, we want to thank all of you for tuning in to AI Unraveled.
This podcast wouldn't be possible without the support of our amazing listeners.
Absolutely. And if you're enjoying these deep dives into the AI landscape and want to help us keep this content free and accessible, you can show your support by donating via the links in the show notes.
Every little bit helps.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about a more serious topic: AI's role in warfare. Recent reports have revealed that Israel is using U.S.-developed AI systems for military targeting.
That's a bit unsettling.
It definitely raises some tough questions about the implications of AI in warfare.
I mean, AI has the potential to make warfare more precise, which could potentially reduce civilian casualties.
Right, but there are also concerns about accountability and transparency. Who's responsible when an AI makes a life-or-death decision?
That's a scary thought. Autonomous weapons systems making decisions without human oversight.
It's something we need to think about carefully as a society.
Absolutely. We need to have those ethical discussions now before these technologies advance further.
Okay, on a slightly lighter note, the world of finance is also dealing with the rise of AI-powered scams.
Oh yeah, I've heard about those deep fakes and phishing schemes.
Well, to fight back, MasterCard has partnered with Feedzai, a company that specializes in AI-driven fraud detection.
So they're using AI to combat AI-powered scams.
Exactly. It's like a high-tech arms race.
The good AI versus the bad AI.
Something like that. Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's do a quick roundup of some other interesting AI news bites from the day.
Hit me with it.
Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, is polling users on X about which OpenAI model they'd like to see open-sourced.
That's interesting. I wonder what the results will be.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk's xAI is making moves in the gaming world. They've announced their own gaming studio, and they're hinting at the upcoming release of a voice mode for their Grok AI.
Musk and AI in gaming. That's a recipe for some interesting headlines.
And Meta is jumping on the AI conference bandwagon with their announcement of LlamaCon, their first ever generative AI developer conference, scheduled for April 29th.
Looks like we've got another event to add to our calendars.
And last but not least, Google Meet has rolled out a new feature-scrollable caption history. Now, you can easily review up to 30 minutes of live and translated captions from your meetings.
That's a nice little accessibility improvement.
All right, folks, that brings us to the end of part one of our deep dives.
It's pretty amazing to see how AI is becoming so deeply integrated into so many facets of our lives.
It's true. You know, from the workplace to scientific research and even the gig economy, AI is everywhere you look these days.
Yeah, and it's only going to become more pervasive in the years to come.
Exactly, which is why I think it's so important to take a step back every now and then and consider the bigger picture.
You mean like where all of this is heading?
Precisely. Where is this rapid evolution of AI ultimately leading us? And what skills and knowledge will hold the most value in a future that's increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence?
Those are some really big questions.
They are. but I think they're questions worth asking.
So how do we even begin to answer them?
Well, I think one way is to look at the things that AI, at least for now, still struggles with.
Like what?
Well, creativity, for example. AI can generate text and images, but it doesn't truly understand the nuances of human creativity. The emotional depth, the originality that we bring to the table, those are qualities that I think will always be valuable.
That makes sense. AI can mimic, but it can't really create in the same way that humans can.
Exactly. And then there's critical thinking. AI can process information and make decisions based on algorithms, but it lacks the ability to think critically, to question assumptions, and to consider different perspectives.
Which is so important in a complex world.
Absolutely. Especially as AI becomes more prevalent.
Yeah.
We need to be able to discern fact from fiction, to evaluate information critically, and to make informed decisions.
So it's not about becoming experts in coding or AI algorithms.
Not necessarily. It's more about honing those uniquely human skills that AI can't replicate.
Like creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving.
Exactly. And I'd add emotional intelligence to that list as well.
Yeah.
AI may be able to simulate emotions, but it doesn't genuinely experience them.
That's true. And I think the ability to understand and manage our own emotions as well as the emotions of others is going to become even more important in an AI-driven world.
I agree. It's about building meaningful relationships, navigating social dynamics, and fostering empathy and compassion, all things that AI isn't particularly good at.
So it's not about fearing AI or trying to resist its advance.
Nope. It's about embracing the possibilities while also recognizing its limitations.
And developing the skills and knowledge to thrive alongside it.
Exactly. Now, speaking of AI and its implications, let's circle back to some of the specific developments we touched on earlier.
Okay, sure.
You know, the news about Israel using U.S.-developed AI for military targeting raises some pretty serious questions.
It does. It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
On the one hand, you could argue that AI has the potential to make warfare more precise and potentially reduce collateral damage.
That's a valid point.
But on the other hand, there are legitimate concerns about the lack of accountability and transparency in such systems.
The idea of autonomous weapons making life or death decisions without human oversight is a scary thought.
It is. It raises questions about who's ultimately responsible when things go wrong.
And how do we ensure that these systems are used ethically and responsibly?
Those are questions that we as a global society need to grapple with.
Absolutely. We need to have those conversations now before these technologies advance further.
I completely agree. And it's not just about military applications either. We're seeing similar ethical dilemmas arise in areas like law enforcement, healthcare, and even the justice system.
Wherever AI is being used to make decisions that impact human lives, we need to be very careful.
We need to make sure that these systems are fair, transparent, and accountable, and that human judgment is always a critical part of the decision-making process.
Right. It's about finding the right balance between leveraging AI's capabilities and preserving human values.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about something a little less heavy.
Sounds good.
Remember we were talking about the rise of AI-powered scams?
Oh, yeah, the deep fakes, the phishing schemes. It's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's not.
It is. And the MasterCard and FeedSide partnership we discussed earlier is a good example of how the financial industry is fighting back.
But it feels like it's a constant cat and mouse game.
It is. Scammers are always finding new ways to exploit technology. And companies like MasterCard are having to develop increasingly sophisticated defenses to stay ahead of the curves.
So what can we do as individuals to protect ourselves?
Well, I think education and awareness are key. We need to be informed about the latest scams and how to spot them.
That's true. We can't just blindly trust everything we see online anymore.
Exactly. We need to be critical thinkers. We need to verify information from multiple sources, and we need to take basic precautions like using strong passwords and enabling multi-factor authentication.
Those are all good tips.
Speaking of interesting developments, remember Sam Altman's poll on X about open sourcing an OpenAI model?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that plays out.
It's a decision with a lot of potential consequences.
On the one hand, open sourcing models could accelerate AI research and development.
Right. But on the other hand, there's the risk that these models could be misused.
It's a tough call. OpenAI will have to weigh the potential benefits against the potential risks.
Exactly. They'll need to consider not just the technical aspects, but also the ethical and societal implications.
It's a complex equation with no easy answers.
Well, while OpenAI is wrestling with that decision, Elon Musk seems to be charging full steam ahead with his own AI ventures.
Oh yeah, what's he up to now?
Well, he's launched xAI's gaming studio, for one thing.
AI and gaming. That could be interesting.
It could be huge. I mean, imagine hyper-realistic simulations, interactive storytelling experiences driven by AI, or even entirely new genres of games that we haven't even thought of yet.
The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
They are. And then there's the upcoming release of voice mode for Grok.
So you'll be able to talk to Grok like you're talking to a person.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
It's all about making AI more accessible and engaging.
I wonder if it'll be as good as they say it is.
Only time will tell. But it's definitely a sign of things to come.
And let's not forget about Meta. They've got their own AI conference coming up, LlamaCon.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's getting in on AI action these days.
It's the Wild West of tech right now.
It is. But in a good way, I think all this competition and innovation is pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And ultimately, it's going to benefit all of us.
I hope so. Okay, so before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to touch on something that might seem small, but I think it's actually quite significant.
Okay, what is it?
Google Meet just rolled out a new feature scrollable caption history.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Seems like a minor update.
It might seem minor, but I think it's a great example of how AI can be used to enhance accessibility and make technology more inclusive.
I agree. It's about making sure that everyone has equal access to information and opportunities.
Exactly. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the years to come as AI becomes more sophisticated and more integrated into our lives.
It's wild to think back just a few years and how much less AI was integrated into our lives.
I know, right? It's almost like it's become this invisible force that's shaping our world in ways we don't even realize.
But as fascinating as all the latest developments are, I think it's important to step back and ask ourselves some bigger questions.
Like, where is this all heading? What does the future hold for us in this age of AI?
Exactly. And what can we do to prepare ourselves for that future?
It's easy to get caught up in the hype, in the excitement, but I think it's crucial to have these conversations now.
So we can shape the future of AI in a way that benefits humanity.
Precisely. So where do we even begin?
Well, I think one place to start is by looking at what AI still struggles with.
Like what specifically?
Well, creativity, for one. AI can generate text and images, but it doesn't have that spark of genuine creativity that humans do.
It's more like mimicry than true originality.
Exactly. And then there's critical thinking. AI can process information and make decisions based on algorithms, but it lacks the ability to think critically, to question assumptions, to see things from multiple perspectives.
Those are skills that are going to be more important than ever in a world where we're bombarded with information from all sides.
Absolutely. We need to be able to discern fact from fiction, to evaluate information critically, and to make informed decisions.
So it's not about becoming experts in AI ourselves.
Not necessarily. It's more about honing those uniquely human skills that AI can't replicate.
Like creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving.
Yeah, exactly. And emotional intelligence, I think that's going to be huge as well.
I agree. AI may be able to simulate emotions, but it doesn't truly feel them.
And as humans, we connect with each other on an emotional level. That's what makes us human.
So it's not about fearing AI or trying to stop its progress.
It's about embracing the possibilities while also recognizing its limitations.
And making sure that we develop the skills and knowledge to thrive alongside it.
To navigate this new world that we're creating.
And that, my friends, brings us to the end of our deep dive into the AI landscape for February 19th, 2025.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have. From quantum computing to AI and warfare, from the gig economy to the ethical implications of artificial intelligence.
It's been quite a journey.
And it's a journey that's only just beginning.
Absolutely. The world of AI is constantly evolving, and it's going to be fascinating to see what the future holds.
So as we sign off, we want to encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those big questions.
Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo, to think critically, and to imagine the possibilities.
Because the future of AI is being shaped right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
And if you've enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe to AI Unraveled on Apple Podcasts and share it with your friends.
We're trying to build a community of people who are passionate about AI and want to stay ahead of the curve.
And we'd love for you to be a part of it.
And for those of you who are looking to reach a large and engaged audience of professionals, we also offer advertising opportunities on our podcast.
So if you're interested in spreading the word about your business or service, you can find all the details in our show notes.
We're always looking for new ways to connect with our listeners and help them discover amazing products and services.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep unraveling the mysteries of AI.
This is AI Unraveled, signing off.